life until the switchman bent the iron. Suddenly the tracks of life are going this way, but you thought your ticket took you that way. What do you do when the destination doesn't match the vision of the ticket you were given? When the tracks switched on me, memories of tracks of long ago no longer showed. I looked out the window at the current days. They all rolled by in a blurry haze. I turned my attention to the track ahead, but could not see past my current stead. My train of thought had to change, for someday the whistle blast will be my last. But on this day I'll share my hunch. My ticket has not been punched. Madam Contest Master, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests, to understand the switchman, I have these questions 3. Do you show regret for where you thought you would be? Or do you bend the iron to start a new beginning? Or do you embrace the track you now see? My uncle showed regret for where he thought he would be. He worked for years as a track switchman. His job was to control the movement and direction of trains. He dreamed of someday hitching a ride, grabbing hold of the ladder, riding the rails, seeking adventure, romance, and success. The only terminal he knew were the ones he passed through. Now, terminal meant something entirely different when cancer followed it. The real-life switchman had the tracks switched on him. He held my gaze, and regrets tumbled from his lips. He wished he had experienced more, traveled more, and loved more. His train was in danger of being derailed, so he clung to the rails of hope and held his ticket tight. He told me he would fight this cancer with all his might. He overcame regret on his track. He now is cancer-free because he bent the iron back. Let's travel back in time to when an unexpected passenger boarded my train. The significance of his presence brought to bear the second question. Do you embrace the track you now see? Back then, the mileposts in my mind were college, career, marriage, and then a baby carriage. This unexpected passenger caused a bend in the iron for me. He hopped aboard my train as I was earning my engineering degree. I demanded to know his intentions, so I said, on this track of life, I am here for a BS and not an MRS. That is, a Bachelor's of Science and not a Mrs. He just smiled, went down on one knee, and held up the golden ticket. Apparently, he was not listening. He still has that problem today. With the BS and an MRS, we let the whistle blast, marking the beginning and not the last, as we bent the iron to ride the love train. Embracing the track can be hard to do, but so worthwhile when the switchman sets a new track before you. Sometimes our train enters the switching yard without any clear direction which way our future may lay. My third question, do you bend the iron to start a new beginning? Resonates with me because it happened to my husband's family in 1929. His grandparents owned a prosperous farm in Nebraska and had $20,000 in the bank. One day, his grandfather went to the bank to withdraw money for the new crop, but the bank was closed permanently. The Great Depression had hit, closing banks across the nation. Does this sound familiar to the plight we're in today? His grandparents could have wrung their fist and called it quits. Instead, they read about jobs working the orchards in Oregon. 7 children and 2 adults piled into a minivan. Well, not really. It was the 20s. It was a station wagon. They towed a homemade trailer with everything they owned. With hope and determination, they bent the iron in search of a new beginning, in search of a new home. Our train of life has not been defined. No switchman can contain our dreams and hopes we hold deep inside. Do you show regret for where you thought you would be? My uncle overcame regret and now is cancer-free. When the track switches, do you embrace the track you now see? I did, and I am now with the man of my dreams. Do you bend the iron to start a new beginning? Like my husband's grandparents, we as a people and a nation can overcome anything. For my part, I no longer focus on my stead, but with courage welcome the bends in the iron ahead. Only you can solve the mystery of your track. Is it the switchman or you that can bend the iron back?